due to a couple overwhelming events, Sodom Road was blocked off for an extra number of days. And that is one of our busiest commuter roads. Fortunately, the fire truck could come in from one side or the other side, so it wasn't the extreme danger as far as public safety. But boy, this office here has heard a lot of calls. When is Sodom Road going to be open? The other thing that's frustrating is the state of New Hampshire, and I'm going to go back to the last two bridge projects we had. When they get involved, there's a whole lot of snafus. I'm talking about County Road Bridge, and I'm talking about New Road. New Road, for example, they did it on a cost-plus basis. The state was 3 years late, and it cost the town another $35,000. If we can control our destiny and educate the public, let them decide to repair the bridge. So I'm in favor of this proposal. Is there a motion?
I'll move that we engage HEB to do design work to repair the Sodom Road Bridge.
I'll second.
Is there any further discussion? I'll ask for a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 3-0. Is there anything for me to sign on this document? I don't see anything red.
You know, I don't,
Yeah, this is
I
like,
think see it as thing, I think.
No?
On the left of the paperwork?
Okay.
Okay.
Which budget does this come out of?
That's what that was I was gonna ask you.
It's gotta come out of roads
Gotta come
and
out of
bridges?
the roads and bridges, yeah.
When is this gonna happen?
We would expect to start our service promptly after the receipt of this proposal.
So, do we wanna work it into 2017 or do we wanna make it part of 2018?
My recommendation is we go forward and do it now.
Okay,
And it should be charged against
roads and bridges.
the roads and bridges budget, and you know, there are other lines in the total budget that are
We do have enough funds in the total town
in
budget
the
to
general
cover
budget.
this.
That's
Right.
right. Exactly.
But I believe putting it in roads and bridges because that's an accounting statement for next year's budget.
Well, it's an accounting statement for where we spend money.
Yes.
So regardless of what line item money was originally budgeted in, we ought to charge it to where the cost actually
Right.
goes.
So we've got not that much left in that. And we'll just move some money around.
Okay. We're all set on this, gentlemen? You've signed it?
Excuse me, do you want them to take into consideration that they would put it out to bid once, or do you want to talk about that later?
I
And
think
just
we
in case
need,
he asks.
Let's look at the design first,
Yeah.
Okay.
and then we can go forward from there.
Okay.
All right, here's.
they should be able to estimate the cost a bit. We've done enough bridges,
Yes.
just a round figure of what we're looking at, whether it's
Mhm.
$1 or $1 million.
Okay.
Next, all set on this item?
Yep.
Next item is Rod Wood gave his input and marked his selections. If in agreement, please place the ballot inside the envelope and have me seal. This is the nomination for assessing officials ballot. Did you folks read it? Do you agree with what he recommended? Okay.
Having served in both of the forms of the positions of government, of selectman and county commissioner, I've never met a county assessor. So I'm wondering what they do, and do we pay them?
There's no funds.
A volunteer job doing something. Right. I guess it's something to put on your own bed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Next is a letter drafted reference 19 Mile Bay, the signs. This letter is a follow-up to Chief Shigori's communication with you regarding no parking along Route 109 in Tufton Borough. It's the area of Union Wharf Road as you head back toward Melvin Village. Okay to send this letter to him?
Yeah, thank you.
Next is notice of intent to excavate, and this is a supplemental change. It's for tax map 55-2-7. Folks read it? Do we have to take a vote on this?
Probably should.
Yeah, go ahead, move approval.
Second?
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0. Next is right of burial. I need a motion to move to approve the 6 rights of burials for lot G 42 and 43, G 46 and 47, G 44 and 45, H 40 and 41, G 40 and 41, CR 8-12 and 9-12. So move.
Is that up?
Hmm?
Sounds like a lot more burial sites than there are
Yeah.
people.
Yeah,
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Motion passes 3-0.
There's one in here that you missed, Lloyd.
Okay. After you got it.
Yep.
The next thing to be signed is from Lakes Region Household Hazardous Product Collection Program for the summer of 2018. Excuse me. This is a letter of commitment. The community of Tuftonboro hereby commits to participate and cooperate with the Lakes Region Planning Commission in the Household Hazardous Product Collection Program to be held on July 28th and August 4th, 2018. We hereby give the Lakes Region Planning Commission the authority to represent us in organizing said collection project. The community of Tuftonboro will appropriate $3,899 for the purpose of this collection program, pending approval of its budget at 2018 town meeting. We've checked with Clay, and this is covered by our budget, and he recommends signing it. When I asked him about it this weekend, he said, the program this summer was excellent. Carrie Long headed it up for him. Is there a motion?
One question, well, I'll move in the, move approval.
I'll second.
For purposes of discussion, go ahead.
What was our, what was the budget amount for 2017 for this program? I mean, I recall that
3.5% less,
this is 3.5% more.
3.5% increase.
And what we paid to Lakes Region for the program was substantially better than what we've been doing, as I recall.
Yes, it was well over $1,000 less, and I'm talking from memory here, from going to Wolfboro.
Yeah.
We didn't have to do the tickets and people come in and all that. What was interesting is, and there's paperwork under correspondence, people can still go to Wolfboro and they pay cash.
Right.
Pay cash. And I think there were about 25 people from Tuftonboro that did it that way. So what this has done is, I think there are 6 or 7 days now where you can get your paint and your bad stuff. It's not going in the environment.
Right.
So what was the number again?
So it's 3.5% increase over 2017, but that was about $1,000 less than we paid the previous year in the Alton
Because we had
Wolfboro.
$4,000 on the line item this year.
Yeah.
Right.
And what do we-
$38.99.
So
So
is it-
it's just,
And what does
Just
Clay
under-
have on there in his estimated budget or his approved budget, the budget that we?
I'd have to pull I believe he has 4,000 in his budget.
Okay,
Okay.
all right.
Ready to vote?
yeah.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Dental, we want to talk about later.
Yeah.
Okay, make sure, Karen, you remind us.
Okay.
Is Highway Department here?
I just tried calling him. I'll go back and see if that maybe I'll get back.
I didn't, did they provide a proposed budget or they bring it with them? Because I don't remember having a.
Yeah, he gave us a proposed budget.
I have to really-
I've got the detail from this year, and I don't have his
Yeah, I didn't think I saw a proposed budget.
proposed budget.
That's an insurance.
Well, while we're waiting for him, I can zip down to correspondence in the green folder. This is, the first item is the planning board budget. Have we already done the planning board budget?
You're not.
I don't think we have one.
Okay, this is from Leanne Hendrickson. So we need to talk about this at some point, right?
Right.
Next is the culvert survey. We want to talk about that when Jim is here. Okay. This is from White Horse Addiction Center. I'm sure they're going to ask for some funds for budget purposes.
Right.
Next is CIP submissions made on behalf of the board by Bill. Next is the Libby Museum of Natural History, talking about a proposal to make like a park area.
Pardon? I thought you said that.
The Conservation Commission will be meeting with the director, that they're doing the legwork for us.
And as I recall, that letter is clarification that what they're seeking is minimal improvement to the site to retain the natural character with improved access for a walking trail out to the
Yes.
to the viewing point of the Ospey Mountains and removal of some of the invasive plant material
Yep.
to improve the viewing of the mountains. So we talked about this earlier when the first package came in from the Libby. And my idea at that time is we were looking to turn it into sort of a regular park. And I think this clarification is suggesting they're seeking that it be, that the improvements be minimal, but designed to bring the use of that parcel in line with the terms of the trust for access of the public. So that it doesn't just become what it has been, which is a
Forest.
totally unused parcel.
It's to honor Dr. Libby's desire for views of the Ossipee Range, a modest amount of clearing of invasive species, about 15 to 20 feet at the viewpoint is proposed. The path's use will be primarily for educational and conservation purposes. No parking, picnicking, boating, or swimming is proposed. And it's a work in progress. Next is a letter from Lindy Greenwood. I'm writing to request permission to place a plaque by the Christmas tree on the side of the townhouse to designate why the tree was planted there 24 years ago. It was planted in memory of my husband, Lionel Bud Greenwood. I'm not sure if my daughter-in-law, Lisa Greenwood, got permission at that time or not. I would appreciate your attention to, and thank you for considering this matter. I did some research on it. Jackie helped me out. It was planted about 24 years ago when Bud passed away. At that time, the selectmen, from my check of the records, preferred not to put markers in the lawns that affected the mowing. I think that has since changed because when Potter Campbell passed away, there was permission to plant a tree out here with something. I have a thought, but what do you people think?
it strikes me as it's not inappropriate to have a marker that calls attention to the, you know, why the tree is there. So I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, I mean, the selectmen at the time made the decision to have the tree planted or allow it to be planted. I don't think the marker changes anything other than satisfies the needs of the descendants.
Would you consider having the marker affixed to the fence that's right there next to the tree? That way it doesn't interfere with mowing?
No,
Or is that a minor point?
I think that's a minor point, and what I would envision as an interference with the mowing is that maybe instead of getting real close with the mower, he's now got to use the string trimmer for a little more. So I think, you know, freestanding markers, that's fine with me. Which tree is it that we're talking about?
I was under the belief it was the fir tree that's out by
The one by the
Yes,
corner of
I can
the
double
gardens?
check.
Yeah, well, the letter mentions townhouse, but I assumed that she was
So
actually
do we want
speaking
to
of the town
review this
offices.
sign? I mean, do we want to take a look at it before? I mean, I think probably not to, you know, beat this dead horse to further death. We're gonna be responsible, or the selectmen are gonna be responsible for maintaining it at some juncture. I mean, it becomes now a town memorial. So are we gonna require some permanency to the sign, or is it a wooden plaque with painted letters?
Well, what she's asking is permission to place a sign.
Mhm.
In my view, if we say it's fine to place a sign there, that doesn't mean that we're accepting responsibility for maintaining the sign.
Oh.
No, I'm not trying to split hairs here, but, yeah, we're gonna work around the sign, we're not gonna tear it down.
My question is just whether or not we should have requirements about the sign. It should be a cast sign, should it be metal, should it be wood, but, I mean, what do we? It's not the biggest issue before us today, but I
No.
suppose we don't want it to come back and bite our collective butts.
What about that we give tentative approval, will you please contact us about the particulars?
Sure. Makes sense.
Okay,
Yeah,
so moved.
second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
You contacted Karen?
Yes,
Okay.
and, as far as highway, I understand, I just talked to Jim, we had a miscommunication, because we thought his budget wasn't received by email. Anyway, long story short, he'll be in on Monday, it was nobody's
Today's
fault, it was
Monday.
just, next week, just a miscommunication on which day. And so I talked to Andy, he's be ready in a few minutes, and Diane's ready for health insurance if you wanna do that, so.
Okay.
What do you want to do, gentlemen?
Well, I'm sure that she's busy doing something, we might as well finish what we're up to.
Yeah.
Okay. Tony stopped by the office to request appointment with the planning board, as he was told there will be an opening soon. Dear Selectman, please reappoint me to the planning board, Tony Triola. Is there a vacancy?
Not currently.
Do we have alternates?
Huh? We do have alternates. We could appoint him as an alternate. But there is not currently a vacant seat on the planning board. So,
Is there and I'm not familiar at all with the history, is there a reason why, given the past 3 months of activity, that we should consider not appointing him?
no.
Okay.
I know he had a conversation with me, and he was civil and appropriate. I have no problem with someone who has a different opinion than me, but when they're pleasant, and you have a cup of coffee together, I
So
respect
at that point, it's up to the
Yeah, to make a
planning board
recommendation.
chair to
To recommend.
recommend the person.
Exactly.
Next is Gina Lassard, Eagle Scout Projects. Please find attached letters from Matt Joss and Cole Finneran. They are Tuftonboro residents who would like to do their Eagle Scout projects in town. I asked them to write letters to you. They are involved in sports, and it would be difficult for them to make a meeting. I've spoken to them about proposed projects and would be happy to speak to you about them on their behalf if you need more information. Please let me know if the boys have the go-ahead with these projects so they may begin the process of submitting it to their troop. Thank you, Gino Osari. Have you read the letters?
That's, we're talking about trail building and trail improvement, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is similar to what other scouts have done in the past. What are your thoughts? I have no problem with it.
I don't either, but just to editorialize a little bit, part of the Eagle Scout process is actually the public presentation and request. So I think I'm missing out on not coming before us with their request. I'm not trying to
Nope.
keep them from doing it. I think it's an
Yes.
honorable thing to do, but I think part of it is
I thought that also, but
coming before the board and making a presentation as part of it. Maybe when they're done, they'll come and present their
maybe
results.
pictures before and after or something like that. Do we need a motion on this to give them permission?
Yeah.
So moved.
Second. Any further discussion? And if, I have no problem adjusting our meeting times to accommodate them, so.
Yeah.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Next is disaster response and recovery reminders from, I assume it's FEMA. Hope all those that were impacted by the storm on Sunday are doing well. This reminder, if you need assistance in damage assessment or help with the FEMA paperwork, give us a call. Adam was asked about it. He's not going to submit anything for this past storm.
I will make a comment on that. Of course, I was away during the storm, but I received an email from the state asking that any individuals who had damage in this storm provide them with information on the damage so they can include it in a state submission against a potential federal declaration. So I thought that was interesting, an interesting approach going forward. So I don't know how many residents in town here had storm damage that incurred any real mitigation expense, but the state is interested in getting that information from individual residents as well as from municipal governments.
And Adam would know that. I mean, a tree falls on a house, the fire department gets
Yes.
involved.
Yeah.
Maybe make a copy of that email and forward it to our road agent who
Yeah.
was busy. And I think the fire department responded to 38 incidents, but that's off the top of my head, and that's not accurate to be recorded. Obviously, we're busy. Next correspondence is from the Health Trust, Your Voice Matters. This is a nominating committee. The slate of nominees, Russell Dean from Exeter, Adam Steele from Amherst School District, and Brian Rapp, Fire Lieutenant in Claremont. Do we support that roster, or is it a moot point?
So, yeah, this is the.
Are
this
we
is
even
the-
gonna be in health trust going
No.
forward? I guess we haven't decided that yet.
Yeah,
Correct.
no, we haven't.
I thought it was
So,
premature.
this is just a notice of nomination slate, and the voting takes place at the annual meeting.
Yep. Okay. Here they are. Camp Sentinel sent the following letter. Central Ministries has served the community since 1949 and has established was established for charitable and spiritual purposes. Our purpose is to create a welcoming environment. We are compelled to perform this purpose through providing an environment for people to grow personally, spiritually, mentally, physically, and emotionally. We are open to all, and we exist to offer the mission to all. We strive never to turn someone away for inability to pay. Our property being used directly for our mission and purpose benefits the general public. Some examples include 50% program scholarship to Tuftonboro, Ossipee, and Wolfboro residents, hosting at no charge Tuftonboro Historical Society, Fire Department, New Hampshire Carroll County 4-H, New Hampshire Homeschool Group, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, Danville Pond Trust, Lakes Conservancy, and others. We do hiking trails, ice fishing, and snowshoeing trails for the community. We provide summer seasonal employment for young adults. Spiritual respite for pastors and ministry leaders in church services during the summer. We see our relationship with the town as important. Included, please find a check for $2,000 for the town. If we can ever host a town event or do anything to help build a strong Tuftonboro community, please let me know. Reverend Kevin Van Brunt, Executive Director. Second one, the Board of Selectmen. Enclosed is a donation check of the YMCA Camp Belknap sent annually to the town of Tuftonboro in gratitude and appreciation for our relationship with the town. Camp Belknap just celebrated its 114th year as a member of the community and has enjoyed a wonderful relationship with the town of Tuftonboro over the past century. Camp Belknap remains a non-profit 501c3 organization to serve children by developing them in spirit, mind, and body. The camp remains strong as an organization in carrying out their mission. This summer, more than 70 young boys from New Hampshire and 8 Tuftonboro residents were able to experience a summer at Camp Belknap through full tuition scholarships. Additionally, we continue to provide the Belknap site to local groups for no cost. Attached to this letter, we've outlined some of the opportunities we provided for the local community in 2017. We also employ 10 residents. As co-directors, we are excited to continue to stay involved in our community. We thank you for the positive relationship over the years with the police and fire department and you town officials. Please accept this donation of $3,200 for those services and effort. Respectfully, Seth and Stephanie Cassells, co-directors. And on the next page is a list of about a dozen charitable items that they've done.